Hey there, internet land. It's wasted potential616 back again. It's stupid o'clock in the morning once again, and I can't sleep once again. So I thought I'd review some comics. Well, one comic, excuse me, in particular, it's Trade, which I recently got, and it's The Amazing Spider-Man Coming Home. And this is a reprint of Amazing Spider-Man 30 to 35. And I got it quite cheap, $4.99 in trusty comic book shop. They Walk Among Us, another bargain. This is absolutely brilliant. Okay, this is an absolute joy to read. It really is. Now, this was written by J.Michael Straczynski from Babylon 5 fame. He also did Rising Stars. He carried on doing Amazing Spider-Man for a while. Now this was the beginning of his run. I didn't follow it when it came out. I picked up a few issues here and there, but I wish I had just picked up the whole run. This is brilliant. This really is. And not just his writing, but the artwork. John Romita Jr., possibly the definitive Spider-Man artist. And this is him at his best as well, at his absolute best. You know, it's not just his particular style, the way he draws people, and the whole package, the composition of the pages, the dynamic action scenes, you know, or even when people are talking, you know, he's got their body language down, their facial descriptions. Brilliant. I mean, he has a very distinctive style, which some people criticise as being too blocky. That's his style. He does it so well, and he can convey emotion. Just, you know, it's facial expressions. He can convey emotion. Brilliant. Just body language. He's brilliant. Now, the storyline is quite simple, really. Spider-Man meets this new character called Ezekiel with very similar spider powers to him, and sort of suggests that Spider-Man have a slightly different origin, sort of, but not wrecking the original one. It's more sort of suggesting an add-on to the origin rather than completely changing it, and it works. It really does. Anyway, he warns him of this new character called Morlum, who is kind of like a superhero vampire. A vampire in the sense that he absorbs the life energy of superhumans with sort of animalistic powers, or totems of an animal, in this case a spider. I'll give it just a simple rundown of the whole story. Spoiler alert. Basically, warns him of this character. There's this brilliant fight. You know, Spider-Man gets beaten up through whatever means, sort of gets away for a little bit, and then uses his brain to defeat him. And this is the best way for Spider-Man to defeat a character, you know, is, you know, use his brain. And he's a real underdog in this. It's written and drawn so well, it really is. I mean, there's a brilliant scene, one of my favourite scenes in this, where he's had the shit kicked out of him, he really has. And he thinks he's on his last legs, and so he calls up, well, on the payphone, he calls up Mary Jane first, and he can't, well, he goes to voice message. I mean, he's his ex-wife at the time. Well, they're not divorced, but they're separated. And it goes to voicemail, and poor bastard. Anyway, it's the way it's drawn. His body language, I mean, you can't even see his face really. But when he calls her up and it goes to voice message, his body language is the way he stands. It conveys sort of real despair and frustration, and there's just one panel, and to convey that in just one panel, takes real skill, it really does. And then he calls up Aunt May, and he speaks to her in such a way. He doesn't reveal to her what's going on. Of course not, he can't do. But he says that he loves her, and he's kind of desperate. He wants to sort of just speak to her one last time, and she can say that there's something wrong, but he doesn't reveal anything, And it's done really well, that scene's top notch. And across the board, the writing's great. I mean, Straczynski's incorporated this idea that Spider-Man is like the totem of the spider, and sort of adds this new twist on the Spider-Man mythology, about him being the totem of the spider. And it doesn't contradict the radioactive spider thing. In fact, it kind of adds to it, and it doesn't necessarily have to be true, but it just adds to it brilliantly. And also to the fact that, Ezekiel mentioned that a lot of Spider-Man villains are animal orientated well, and it meshes in perfectly to the Spider-Man mythos. It really does. And also, this ends on a really iconic page. Now, spoiler alert, if you want to read this all the way through, look away now, okay? There we go. Aunt May. There we go. Well, close your ears now as well. I don't know. She finds after Peter Parker's, fucked up. Like, all he wants to do is have a kip, and she comes in and sees him all blooded and beaten up, with Spider-Man clothes, on the floor, and she finds out it's Spider-Man. That's the last page, and then that's dealt with in later issues. But that's such an iconic page, brilliantly drawn, a brilliant idea for Straczynski to come up with. It's really good. Anyway, across the board, this is great. Brilliant emotional scenes. Spider-Man as a character is written so well in this. I think sometimes he's a character that, because he's an everyman kind of character, he just complain and moan a lot, but in a kind of comical way. And sometimes it can be written in a way where it's like, oh, come on, Spider-Man, shut up, get on with it, But it's the balance is perfect in this. It really is. And it's just written so well. It really is. Straczynski's got the balance right between sort of every man kind of trying to deal with shit, but also being a hero at the same time. And wanting to protect innocent, innocent civilians, and all of his inner dialogue is all very clever and funny, and just generally entertaining. This book is one to pick up or get the individual issues. Anyway, I better try and get some sleep. I've got a wedding reception to go to tomorrow, and there we go. Look after yourself.